Egypt's committee chairman basically purchased the athletes' fake Nike gear. Now, the reason why he did that is because Nike and Adidas sponsored the Olympics this year, and as a result, all of the athletes that are training within Olympic Park have to wear either one of those brands or, training gear that has absolutely no brand at all. So, of course, Egypt felt pressured to buy one of those brands, and they decided, okay, let's go with Nike, but they bought knockoffs.
Okay. Now, look, it's a fascinating world look into how we have become totally owned by corporations. So now, there's a good side to this. Nike and Adidas are paying for a lot of the stuff that's, and they're putting a ton of money into the Olympics. But now there's this irony where the one thing they're not paying for is the Nike and Adidas clothing, okay, and athletic gear. So then they say to all the countries, you must use Nike or Adidas, non-name brands. What name so? Literally nothing, right? I mean, how are you going to find a brand that doesn't have any brands? It's like that's almost an anachronism. I guess you could, but it's a tough thing to do.
It would be difficult, yeah.
Yeah. So now you must get these, but we're not going to pay for it, so you have to pay for it. And by the way, the Nike stuff is really expensive.
Just to give you an idea of how much it would cost per athlete, it would be between $300 to $500. So understandably, the committee chairman for Egypt basically found the counterfeit goods, and he only paid $90 per athlete. Now, it became,
God bless the Chinese.
It became a bit of a disaster because the athletes started tweeting about it and complaining about it. So I believe it was one of the swimmers, she was basically arguing like, what the hell? This duffel bag I have has like an Adidas zipper and then a Nike, sign on the bag. And then like some of the stuff just didn't make any sense. It was like spelled incorrectly and things like that.
This sounds like I don't know who's ruling or judging this, but it sounds like it's making Egypt look bad. When in reality, this should be blaring as to how could the Nike and Reebok or Adidas, whoever the actual official sponsors are, make the teams buy this stuff. This should be one of these outrage things where they're like, these aren't donated. This isn't already automatic marketing in the first place. As I told you guys earlier, They give the stuff away to colleges and their collegiate athletes. I mean, give it away. Because then they're running, they look good, and they're like, look at that Nike symbol on their hip as they run. That's free advertising.
Well, I think Nike realizes that, and when this story broke, I think they immediately wanted to do damage control, and they donated goods to the Egyptian team.
In fact, there was even a conspiracy theory that the Egyptians tweeted that stuff on purpose so that Nike would get embarrassed enough to give them the free clothes. But look, that's the thing. I mean, these deals get signed above our head, and that's why it's symbolic, and that's why JR is exactly right as to the point of the story. They get signed above our heads, the money goes somewhere else, and then they say you have to buy from these corporations in the spirit of the Olympics. When did we become, instead of a competition among nations, in reality a competition among corporations? And did you know that the U.S. Olympic athletes are sponsored by different corporations, and sometimes they're sponsored by corporations that aren't even American? A lot of the tennis stars are sponsored by French companies competing for the U.S. team. But who gives a damn? Because countries don't matter anymore. The real question is, which corporation do you work for?
Yeah.
That's true of our governments, and it's true of our Olympians.